Hi everyone. Alright, I'm gonna make a video here on my qualifying round in Expert. Um, this time I'm playing my second account in Expert, and I'm gonna be doing my main and master so I can cover both divisions. And here's my scorecard that I did for the qualifier. Um, I mean, it was a pretty good round. I'm happy with it. But you'll see, I had a lot of close calls. Like probably, I think like 5 or 6 slow mo cams. This could have been a higher score, but I'm still really happy with how close I'm getting on every shot. But we're gonna go through every hole and talk through everything. Wait, not that video. This one first. Here's hole one. Alright. And like normal, I'm just gonna go over my shots. I'm not gonna focus on my opponents. Alright, so on this hole, I'm using APOC 6, and I was trying a different line because it's so hard to hit that skinny piece of fairway. So I was thinking I was going to try and use a berserker and hit that left rough up by those trees and that bush, those bushes. Because none of those trees or bushes are real. So that's why I put full top spin and 3 left spin. And here with the wind, I put one of these blue marbles in so I could fully overpower it and know that I was still going to hit the island. And with the berserker, I would have kind of had to guess how much to overpower. So that's why you saw me change balls there. And I added left curl and hit perfect. Just missed hitting the rough. And I didn't quite roll out. So that line is not going to work because I got pretty much as close as I could hitting the island without hitting the rough. And as you can see, it still didn't work out like I was planning to. Like I thought it would roll out and I'd have plenty of room and I'd easily make it out onto the green. Okay, let's go to my next shot from the rough. And for this shot, I pulled it back and I'm going to do the top spin shot because my thinking is that if I hit a great ball, there's a better chance of it going in since the target's so small. But looking at it now, I think I would have, even if I hit great left or right, it probably still would have just missed and like nicked the lip of the cup. But hit perfect and got that one to drop. So good start there. Got the eagle. Alright, now we go to hole number 2. I think here I pulled out one of those new Win 5 balls. And on this shot, yeah, I'm using the Bandera ball. I couldn't remember what it was called. But I'm using like 5.5 backspin and 2 right spin. So we have a 6-mile-an-hour wind here. So on this hole, for every 3 miles per hour of wind, I'm aiming 1 square against it, the wind. So I have a 6-mile-per-hour wind here. So I'm aiming 2 squares to the right. And then because my aim is going to end into the bunker, there's going to be an elevation change in play. So you're going to see me push my aim up about 1 square. And if I'm aiming straight at the cup and then my aim is in the bunker, I will come up short. So that's why you have to push your ball guide forward. And then also, I know this is a lot to take in, so here, we'll go over it again. For every 3 miles per hour, you move 1 square against the wind. And then you have to, since on this shot with a side wind, your aim is always gonna end in the bunker. So you have to push one square up to account for that elevation change. And then we're also at mid distance on this shot, so that's 87.5% of the wind. So here I'm only adjusting for a 5.4 wind, and then I'm moving 2 squares to the right, and then pushing 1 square up. And I know it's a lot to take in, but I've been playing like this for a while, so it all kind of comes naturally to me. But I'm always doing 2 adjustments usually. I'm always adjusting for the trajectory change / elevation, and then I'm doing my wind adjustment. So you'll see that here. Like I'm aiming two squares to the right, and then I pushed 1 square up, and then I'm only adjusting 87.5 of the wind. So there you see the 5.4 rings. And I just missed that one to the right. I think it might be because I aimed a little bit too far right, actually, for doing the 2 square adjustment thing. But, I mean, still pretty on point. I mean, it was really close. Yeah. Alright, let's jump forward to hole 3. Okay. Now, hole 3, I know a lot of people are going to be using berserkers and blasting it right, but especially because I'm playing master and I have to go left on master, I'm going to be playing this the same way for consistency. And I really like my chance at Elba going this way. So, I'm just lining up here playing normal. I think I do like 4 top spin and 2 left spin. And then just adjust 9 miles per hour here. And I think I duffed this one great right. Yeah. And then I hit the rough. Luckily though I rolled out and I'll still have a easy shot at the albatross. Alright, so this second shot, pay attention to where I line up here, because this is where I'm lining up on both expert and master, using about, I think like 3.5 backspin, and the side spin will differ depending on where you're at, but I just line straight up in the hole, and I think I adjust a little bit more here. I forget exactly what I adjusted, let me see. Yeah, I adjusted like 8.2 or so. My reason for that being I'm in extra power range, and I was in like the max distance of a Kingmaker, so you have to adjust an extra like, I don't know, 6 or 7%. But as you can see, I just barely didn't adjust enough, but that was close as hell. Again, it sucks that none of these are dropping, but I really like being this close already in qualifying round and having these shots pretty dialed in already. Alright, so now hole 4. Hole 4 I'm using, now if you don't have an APOC 5 plus, you can do this shot with an extra mile or a Thor's hammer. You just need 4 backspin, and both of those can give that to you. But with an extra mile or a Thor's hammer, you're going to have to overpower a bit, which isn't a problem. I mean, there's a lot of room for error here. It's a huge fairway. So I'm doing 4 backspin, and oh wait, this isn't me. Hang on. Let's fast forward to my shot. That guy didn't curl at all for some reason. But, alright, so I'm doing 4 backspin and full left spin. I had a touch more backspin. And I'm setting up close to the rough so I don't have to curl as much. I'm trying to do a shot that can be repeatable. And playing further right, I can easily make the eagle and get to the green curling, but I want to try and do the shot so it can be repeatable. And there I adjusted a little extra because, like I said, for the last shot, I'm in that max kingmaker range, so you need to adjust an extra, like, I'd usually do like about 5% or so. I don't know, I just kind of guesstimated in my head. And that one just missed right of the hole. But I think even if I hit the hole there, it probably would have bounced out because it had a little bit too much speed. So if you're using 4 backspin, I got to play a little bit further back. But since I have more backspin available to me, I'll probably do like 4.5 backspin or like 4.75 in the opening round and see how that goes for me. And for this wedge shot, I just dunk it in, I'm pretty sure. Whenever I'm this close, I tend to dunk. Barely have to move the target and just have it in the center of the hole, and then even if you don't hit perfect, it'll go in. Even if you have an 18, 19 mile per hour wind, when you're this close, your aim will still be inside the cup. Alright, so I got that eagle, which honestly, that's what I'm hoping for on this hole. If I got the hole in one, that's great, but realistically, I'm expecting an eagle there. Alright, now hole 5, I'm playing to the left side. Fully overpowering a kingmaker, and I'm using a kingmaker so I have less wind on my approach shot for the albatross. And if you haven't, I can't speak on, well, I know if you have lower clubs, you could use a Titan. And by lower clubs, I mean clubs with under 240 yards of power. You could overpower fully with a Titan, but I know with APOC 5, 6, and 7, I'm pretty sure the cutoff for wind is around 8.4. Because I had one of my opponents with an 8.7 wind who had APOC 5 fully overpower, and he did hit great right, so he did hit that little curved part of the fairway, but he did still hit the rough and go in the water. So I think the cutoff is around like 8.4 because I fully overpowered an 8.4 and just hit right behind the rough. So that's something you have to pay attention to, your wind strengths. Because if it's too strong or you're using too big of a ball, you're going to get wet. So there, on that drive, I'm pretty sure I used full top spin and 2 right spin and add a little bit of right curl. Alright, now for this thorn, where I got, I'm going to have a thorn shot, which I really don't know how I feel about it, because I'm used to doing this shot with a long iron from Tour 11. So, I try and line this up, and I don't know if you guys remember me saying this before, but I typically do 1 cup. For my thorn shots, I do 1 cup against the wind for every 3 miles per hour. So here I'm trying to aim about 3 cups to the right and then adjust for 8.5 miles per hour of wind. So that's about 4.5 rings for the thorn, because the thorn's a 1.86 per ring, I think, but I just play at 1.9 on the fly. So there's what I think to be about 3 cups. Man, let's go back and look at that really quick. Wait. So I think I actually adjusted a little more than 3 cups there, I can tell. Because I know 3 cups is about the equal distance of 1 square. And I'm aiming a little more than 3 cups, about like 3.5 cups right, instead of just 3. And then for this adjustment, let's see how much I adjust. I think I adjusted that hair too. You'll see why I'm paying attention to that, because I just barely missed right on that shot. So I think the combination of just that slight over adjusting like a little half cup right, plus maybe adjusting like an extra, like, I don't know, 0.2 or 0.3 of wind, that was enough though to make me miss that little bit. Still really close though. Alright, now going to hole 6. I don't know what happened on this hole. I was playing the same setup the last 2 days and I got really close, and today I was not close at all. So I'm going to try and go over it and see what I did different. I know I used less backspin, I think, because the last 2 days I used like around 5 backspin and full right spin. Yeah, here I only used 4.25. I don't know why I did that. Oh, because I ended up short both times, so I was trying to use a little less. But when I was using 5 backspin, I was aiming the third bounce right at the end of the fringe and turning my camera so the wind is facing straight north and trying to envision the ball guide going straight into the cup. And then I just adjust straight back, and I don't curl at all, and it should follow that path right to the hole. Because this wind is going to push it up about 3 or 4 squares. So it looks like it's not going to travel as far, but this hole, it always goes way further than you think it will. But as you'll see here, I went really long. That second bounce has to be hitting the fringe. So I think I should use probably, like when I was using 5 backspin, I was short. So I'd say this hole, I'd say probably like 4 3/4 bars backspin and full right spin. And then just line it up like it's going straight in the hole, and then adjust straight back with the wind, and you don't have to curl at all then, and it'll just feed right to the hole. Right there, though, I just went long because I didn't have the line right. If you feel like you need to curl, I mean, you just need like the slightest right curl maybe, but you really don't need a lot if you play it right around there. Okay, now hole 7. On this hole, I'm using a kingmaker, and then just doing full top spin, and I think like 1 or 2 right, something like that. And I'm not overpowering at all, I'm just hitting it up there. Or maybe I added the slightest amount of overpower, I can't remember. But there's no need to overpower this shot for me. If you have an extra mile, you can get away with fully overpowering it, because it only has 4 bars top spin, or 6. Well, if you have an extra mile 8, you probably couldn't overpower it all the way with 6 bars of top spin. But I really can't speak on that shot. But it's better to play safe and be a little bit further back than try and flirt with the rough and get as close as possible. Because you don't need to get super close to make it. I mean, worst case, you just bounce over. And I don't know what my opponent was thinking here bringing the Guardian, but you need more topspin than the Guardian has to offer to do the shot Like, just in case if you have to do this bounce over shot, you need about like 3 to 4 bars topspin to bounce the fairway and then clear it and then hit the rough and roll onto the green. And our opponent doesn't have that, and you'll see he did it. He played it right. He just didn't make it because he didn't have the topspin. All right, so this shot I did, let's see, close to 2 backspin and 2 left spin. Lined it straight up in the hole. And I gave it a little bit of extra and had the ball guide end in more like 2 squares past the hole because last time I went for this shot, I ended up short. And then I adjusted just 1-to-1 ratio, 7.8 rings. Just hitting a normal shot here, no overpower or curl. Then just bounced out. So for that shot, I mean, I had the line right, clearly. It's just, instead of aiming that far up, I'll just aim like maybe like half a cup past. I don't know why before I ended short and then this time it didn't go short at all. That was exactly the line I was aiming. It's just aiming in that little bit past the hole is why it jumped out. Alright, hole 8, I am sand bumping it. So I'm using 3.5 topspin. And I am aiming about 1 square to the right of the hole. I don't know why this adjustment works, but this is just what's worked for me. I am about a little more than 1 square right, actually. About like a third of the way into that next right square. And then for an 8.6 wind, I adjusted like 8.3 or 8.4 there. Wonderful, the neighbor dog is barking. And on that shot, I just missed left. Here, before we go on to the next hole, I want to... Where do I think I have that video somewhere. Maybe I don't. No, I don't. Well, I had a video somewhere of me acing it and the qualifying round that I did yesterday. That was a practice round, but I don't think I have it on hand. It must be on my iPad, actually. So, I don't know. I'll hit it again, and you'll see it. But you see the line, how I played it right there. I mean, that's the way you play that shot. Alright, now on to hole 9. I'm using a berserker here. And I am going to the right-hand side. And I want the second bounce to barely be hitting the rough and roll out into the fairway up by the hole, like that top part of that fairway way out there behind the bunkers. So I got a big wind here, actually, and I was thinking about using a snowman ball, but then I changed my mind and decided to just use a berserker, and I'm gonna underpower the shot. I do close to full curl on my iPad, and here I'm underpowering a little bit because of the bigger wind. I know with a 10-mile-an-hour wind I fully overpowered and I just hit the rough at the end. So that's why I underpowered here a bit. And as you can see, I did the shot perfectly, exactly how I wanted to. So I rolled out here. And now I'm going to have like a max distance wedge shot. And you want to be further over here if you can, because then you have the wind right to your back. And Well, you have to use a little bit of side spin to straighten it out, but it makes it a lot easier of a shot compared to if you're in the middle of that fairway way back more. And then you're dealing with more of like a side northwest wind, and it's a lot harder. So, as you've heard me say before, guys, I am a lot more comfortable with using the thorn over a wedge. So if I have the room to use the thorn, I'm going to use it. So here, I'm measuring it up to make sure I have enough space to do this adjustment. So 11.2, since I'm at minimum distance on the thorn, I'm only going to be playing 50% of the wind. So that's 11.2 divided by 2, that's like 5.6. So the same rules still apply with the cup thing. So for the 11.2 wind, I'm going to be playing it like a 5.6. So now, instead of seeing the 11.2, I'm seeing 5.6. So that's a 2 cup adjustment against the wind. So you'll see me do that here. I aim straight in the cup, and then I'm going to pull it back 2. There's 1, and then there's 2 cups with the wind. Now I'm going to adjust 5.6, which is about 3 rings, exactly. So I adjust the 3 rings. And get it going nicely. Finally got one to drop at the very end. So, started out good and finished out pretty strong. And 15 is really solid for the qualifier, and I'm really happy with it. And hopefully this video helps you guys out. I mean, I know a lot of what I'm talking about is gonna be complicated for like the more amateur players around here, but if you guys have any questions, just shoot me a PM or message me on Facebook, and I'd be more than willing to try and help you guys out. Because I mean, that's the whole reason I made this channel, is to help people. You know, I mean, I love it if the competition gets better, and you know, it just pushes me to be that much better and to make better content for you guys. And I'm actually liking making videos and doing the whole YouTube thing, and I plan on keeping it going. So, if there's anything I can help you guys with, just don't be scared to holler at me. Alright, I'll talk to you all later. Bye.